Do you know how many shinobi have truly mastered all 5 chakra natures? Not just touched them once with some borrowed power. I mean, actually mastered fire, water, earth, wind, and lightning as their own weapons. You might think there are a lot. I mean, this is a world with gods, eye powers, and reality-bending jutsu everywhere. But if we strip away all the cheats and shortcuts, the real answer is only 6. And in this video, we're going to break down who they are, how they did it, and why each one is on a completely different level from the average shinobi. Before we jump into the list, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified on our latest uploads. We need to be clear about the rules. We are not counting shinobi who got every nature for free. No Rinnegan shortcuts, no Sage of Six Paths blessings, no truth-seeking orbs, no, I picked up this legendary fan so now I can shoot all elements. Yes, the Rinnegan can grant access to all chakra natures instantly. Yes, the Sage of Six Paths can hand out god-tier power like candy. And yes, tools like the Banana Palm Fan can spit out all 5 elements without the user ever training for them. But that is not mastery. That is borrowing power. Today we're talking about the monsters who did it the hard way, through training, experience, and insane natural talent. Why mastering all 5 natures is insane. Most shinobi are born with an affinity for one chakra nature. They train that one, maybe pick up a second later if they're gifted or work really hard. Chunin and even many jonin are usually known for one main element. A few elite shinobi can handle 2 or 3 at a high level, but all 5 mastered? That's like being world class at 5 different martial arts at the same time. To truly master all 5 natures, you need incredible chakra control, years of refinement, and experimentation. The experience to know when to use which element in a real fight. You're not just throwing fireballs and water dragons for style. You're switching between natures mid-battle, countering, adapting, and forcing your opponent into checkmate. With that in mind, let's start the list. Number 6. We start with Moo, the second Tsuchikage of Iwagakure, also known as the Non-Person. Moo is terrifying even before you talk about his chakra natures. He can completely erase his presence, suppress his chakra to the point that even sensory types struggle to detect him, fly split his body into 2 separate halves at the cost of power. Now add this. He is one of the few shinobi in history to wield Dust Release. Dust Release is a Keke Tota, an advanced form of combination jutsu that merges 3 chakra natures, typically earth, wind, and fire. When he uses it, he can literally erase anything in the blast radius down to the molecular level. But here's the part that often gets overlooked. To reach that point, Moo had to have control over all 5 basic natures. As Tsuchikage, his earth release is a given, reshaping the terrain, creating massive defenses, and weaponizing the ground itself. But the deeper lore tells us that he had access to all 5 natures and could use them as needed. So imagine this opponent. You cannot sense him properly. He can appear from angles you don't expect. He is flying above you, and if he tags you with Dust Release, you are simply gone. On top of that, he has every basic element available. Want to counter his earth? He shifts to wind. Try to outrange him? He adjusts with long-distance elemental attacks. You are playing a simple game of fire beats wind, water beats fire, while Moo is playing every elemental matchup at once. At number 5, we have Orochimaru, the shinobi who refused to be human. If there is one shinobi who absolutely refuses to accept limits, it's him. From the very beginning, his entire character is about breaking the rules of the world, human limits, ethical limits. Even the limit of death itself. He experiments on himself, on others, on anything he can get his hands on. His goal is simple, to learn every jutsu and understand everything. Originally, even before his later modifications, Orochimaru already showed skill with multiple elements. Earth release for hiding and surprise attacks wind, and water release in various techniques. A wide range of elemental and non-elemental jutsu, all tied to his obsession with experimentation. Later, after taking over a white Zetsu body, he gains access to wood release, a power tied to Hashirama's cells. That body gives him the potential for all 5 chakra natures, completing his elemental set. But the important part isn't just that he technically has the natures. It's how someone like Orochimaru uses them. He's not a simple brawler. He's a planner, a schemer, a scientist on the battlefield. Fire to pressure and flush enemies out earth, to block and trap wind, to sharpen and enhance attacks, water to control space and movement, lightning to pierce defenses and punish openings. When you give all 5 natures to someone whose specialty is adapting, testing, and exploiting weaknesses, you don't just get variety. You get constant evolution. Every fight is an experiment, every opponent is data, and every chakra nature is another tool he's willing to use in ways no one else would dare. Next is Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja, and one of the most balanced shinobi in the entire series. Kakashi is what happens when talent and hard work meet endless battle experience. He becomes a Chunin and Jonin at a young age, masters Chidori as a teenager, spends years copying over 1,000 jutsu with his Sharingan. Behind his lazy attitude, he is constantly analyzing, constantly learning, constantly refining. Kakashi has a natural affinity for lightning release, which we see in techniques like Chidori Raikiri lightning-based variants he develops over the years. But that's just the start. Through experience, study, and the advantage of his Sharingan, he learns to use all 5 natures. We see him use Earth Release to create walls and underground movements. Use Water Release at a high level, even with no water source nearby, which already shows top-tier control, incorporate fire and wind in different tactical situations. What makes Kakashi truly dangerous isn't that he has all 5 natures. It's that he knows exactly when to use which one. On the battlefield, he's constantly reading his opponent, predicting their next move, choosing the nature that best punishes their style. If you focus on close range, he counters with long-range elemental attacks. If you rely on a certain element, he responds with its natural counter. And over all that, he still has Sharingan-level insight, battlefield leadership, and ridiculous versatility. Kakashi doesn't just have the elemental toolkit, he knows how to speedrun the manual mid-fight. At number 3, we have Tobirama Senju, the second Hokage. If Hashirama is the heart of the village, Tobirama is the brain. He is logical, harsh, and brutally focused on keeping Konoha alive in a chaotic era. When it comes to jutsu creation, he's one of the most dangerous minds in the entire series. Most fans know Tobirama for his water release. He can create massive waves and torrents with no water source. His water jutsu are fast, precise, and deadly. In a pure water style duel, he is at the absolute top tier. But Tobirama didn't stop at just one nature. He mastered the remaining 4 and used them as building blocks for his experiments. He created techniques like Flying Raijin, instant teleportation that completely changes how battles are fought. Edo Tensei, the infamous reanimation jutsu shadow clones, a fundamental tool used by countless shinobi. Later on, all of these require insane chakra control, massive understanding of how chakra works, and constant experimentation. For Tobirama, mastering all 5 natures wasn't about showing off. It was about research. He treated ninjutsu like science. Study how each element behaves, test how they interact, push them further, even into morally gray or outright forbidden territory. If other shinobi use the elements like weapons, Tobirama uses them like formulas, rewriting the rules of combat itself. Number 2 is Hashirama Senju, the first Hokage, known as the God of Shinobi. When you hear Hashirama, the first thing you think of is wood release. Forests erupting from the ground, giant wooden constructs restraining tailed beasts like they're misbehaving pets. His wood release is so overwhelming that it almost hides what came before it, the fact that he had mastery over all 5 basic chakra natures. Wood release itself is a combination of multiple elements and insane chakra control. It's not just a flashy style, it represents perfect harmony between his chakra and the natural world. In battle, Hashirama could heal himself without hand seals, create massive terrain changes at will, restrain monsters, and overpower someone as strong as Madara Uchiha with the 9 tails. To handle a fight on that level, you don't rely on just one trick. You need options. Having all 5 natures gave Hashirama the freedom to respond to anything. Earth, plus water to shape the battlefield. Wind and fire to control pressure and space. Lightning when he needed piercing, focus power. At the center of all of that is wood release, a symbol of his role as the one who brings life, balance, and stability to the shinobi world. Hashirama isn't just strong, he is complete. Finally, at number 1, we have Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage, called the Professor. Hiruzen earned that title because he studied almost every jutsu in Konoha and could use many of them himself. Unlike others on this list, he didn't rely on a bloodline limit, a special eye, or a god-tier body. What made him special was his mind, his experience, and his mastery of all 5 chakra natures. We see him using multiple elements seamlessly in battle, especially in his fight against Orochimaru. Even as an old man long past his prime, he is switching between fire, earth, and other elements, setting up traps mid-fight, reacting instantly to changing conditions. If that is what he can do when he is old and worn down, imagine what his prime must have looked like. For Hiruzen, mastery over all 5 natures is not just about having options. It's about synergy. He can create an opening with one element, punish with another, layer defenses and counters in ways most shinobi can't even think of. That is why he was once praised as the strongest Hokage of his era. Not because he had the most overwhelming single technique, but because he understood the entire system of ninjutsu and could wield it better than almost anyone. 6 true masters. So, in the end, we are left with 6 names. Moo, the invisible executioner with dust release. Orochimaru, the immortal scientist chasing every jutsu Kakashi. The calm strategist who mastered 1,000 techniques, Tobirama. The cold genius who built the foundation of modern ninjutsu, Hashirama. the god of Shinobi, reshaping the world itself. Hiruzen the Professor, turning knowledge into pure power. 6 Shinobi. 6 masters of the elements. No Rinnegan shortcuts, no sage blessings, no divine tools carrying them, just skill, discipline, and pure Shinobi greatness. Now, I want to hear from you. If you could train under one of these 6 to learn chakra control and elemental jutsu, who would you choose, and why? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Naruto lore, make sure to like, subscribe, and share the video so we can keep exploring the hidden layers of the Shinobi world together.